Good day, everybody. My name is Todd Stanley. I'm the man who takes people out into the field and has them either live interact with or eyewitness Sasquatch. Welcome to my Sasquatch Sunday video. Today I'm going to do a review of what's called the massive Idaho Bigfoot video. Quite impressive footage, very interesting, as my colleague, mentor, and late friend would say, John Bitternagel. So I have some very unique perspective, to say the least, having spent so many years observing Sasquatch videos, working on the Patterson footage, looking at my own footage, and talking to all kinds of people, Hollywood special effects, makeup artists, guys, and primatologists, anthropologists. I have a great deal of knowledge and perspective, and what I'd like to do is, this is from NVTV, and I'm gonna give them all the credit because they got this video. They've got excellent contacts, connections, and social media. And I'm actually going to talk about their perspectives as well, because they're proponents, and that's their opinion, and I respect that tremendously. I actually like it when people take a perspective and have balls enough to say, this is my opinion, this is my perspective, and I stand by it. So I like that, and I'm going to talk about all that stuff, and of course there are the haters here, like it's crap, it's garbage, and make all kinds of excuses. But so we're gonna go through all that. Let's have a fun discussion. I like to try to keep things as I'm gonna do today. I'm just gonna give my perspectives based on my knowledge and understanding. So let's have a look at this very impressive Idaho Bigfoot footage and break it down step by step.
The masters of civilization, my people, sure could learn a lot from the masters of the wilderness, which is who they are.
There's no way that you got sight of a Sasquatch in those areas with those tree breaks, with those tracks, getting those apples taken, with those sounds, all these things.
I'm pretty sure this video is from 2021, and I'm going to read some of what the NVTV said here. So it said, when we posted this video yesterday, which was a few months ago, we were asked, where's the full clip? And the answer is, there is no full clip. Red flag. That's a problem. It says, this is how we got it, and it was sent to us. So that's a big red flag, and I want to talk about that in quite a bit of detail. So they say it was filmed in Idaho, United States. I would like to say they are absolutely Sasquatch. I've seen a Sasquatch. I had Sasquatch approach me from Idaho. I spoke with and had a short relationship with it. So I went to Idaho to film some of my footage for my film in Jeff Meldrum's office at Idaho State University in Pocatello. So there are definitively 100.0% Sasquatch in Ohio. So that's good to know. I can give you at least that perspective. And then they say there's a debate over the footage, saying it's real and others say it's fake. Either way you see it, explain one thing. So this is where they come in as proponents. So they say, explain one thing. Who is in the so-called expensive detailed suit? Who in their right mind would buy or go through all the trouble to film and a short clip hoping to hoax people? People do that. It just doesn't make any sense. I agree. Most of the pranks and fakes don't spend a lot of time or money to trick people online, and you can tell right away. They're right. I agree with that. Like we said, there's absolutely no gain or fame in that. I don't know about that last sentence, but they make a lot of good points, and they're clearly proponents. As you'll see through this footage, they clearly believe it's actually real, legitimate footage. And I will give my opinion. I appreciate their opinions and their perspectives, and that's great. So let's have a look at the footage, just some of it right now real quick. So they start out with this kind of cropped version, and there's a lot of legitimacy that I see in this. The leaning forward, the way the hair looks, not very impressed with the color of the filming. Perhaps it's very zoomed in. It's so important to get the behind the scenes perspective. There's an ear there, and there's also, I notice in the not just the lean forward, the thickness of the body is very impressive. This is not a tall individual though. And one thing I'll say is, because you can see based on the trees around, I recognize these trees. Idaho State is similar to Montana, similar to Alberta. This is my home habitat, so I know this area very well. This is away from the Pacific, more into the Rocky Mountains, where Idaho is. So I would guesstimate this being is not much taller than a large man. So the leaning forward is really good, but a man can do that. And then what I'll notice a little later, here we are into this longer footage, is when I look at the foot, this being is walking very similar to a Sasquatch. If you notice in the Patterson footage, the foot goes right forward and comes straight up and down. I've seen Sasquatch do that. Sasquatch do that. And the way even the knee comes so far back. So if this is the person in a suit, he's walking like he learned from the Patterson footage. Unfortunately, that's one thing with the Patterson footage, is it is a real Sasquatch. I'm 100% convinced of that. And now people can duplicate their movements. So, and now they say, if you notice, you can see the ear in the Bigfoot. That is impressive. Also notice there's no neck. I agree, that's like Sasquatchish. Also notice the cone-shaped head. Agreed. If you look closely at the hair, it's shining from the sunlight. Agreed. Just look at the heavy build on its costume. If you need someone to like The Rock to wear it, you could pull it off. How can this be a man in a suit? I think it can be. I think somebody can pull it off. But, and there's stuff about like we're looking at it again, like the neck. There seems to be a break, like a bit of a costume in that, possibly. The hand looks very authentic to me in this shot, the way the hand positioning is. And see, there's a tree right beside it, and that tree and the trees in front of it indicate to me this is not, even I wouldn't even be surprised if this is just 6 feet, 6'1". That's a skinny tree beside him, and it's not very tall. So, and again, so they'll review this over and over. So now, and also what I'm seeing too, I'd like to make a note of, Sasquatch, when they're this tall, in my experience, are not this big. So, not to say it's not possible, but I saw a Sasquatch in California. He wasn't extremely tall, and he wasn't very big. Now it says, watch the still images, cuffed patty-like hands, white on the bottoms of the feet, just like Patty. Hey, I agree. Totally agreed. Like this person, someone who would have spent this length of time to make a suit like this certainly would have studied the Patterson footage. Otherwise, they'd have been fools to not. And they're right. And now what's kind of bothersome, though, is there's a big section of film missing. Where's the in-between of the Sasquatch coming back and forth? So, and again, this still image, man, like that is the way their feet move. See, now we're way over by the tree, and that other shot was him way off over to the left. What happened to him in between? So, need to see that kind of stuff. That's important. Transparency is important. If there's a reason that shot doesn't exist, that's important. So now they're reviewing this walking movement again. There's no flaws in the movement. There's no flaws in that the Sasquatch is not looking back. Like, everything seems quite authentic to me. Even it looks like there's a little tuft of hair over the front of the eyes. That's possible. Check out the hair on the Bigfoot. Do you notice how the sun is shining off of it? Yeah, I do. And that's good. But, can you make fake hair like that? I would argue yes. So, yeah, it's possible that could not be real. So, but if it isn't, I mean, that is got to be one of the most impressive pieces of Sasquatch footage, or an impressive costume at an immense level. So, and I'm gonna show some stuff to talk about how this can be faked. And that doesn't that suck? What if this is legit? And the backstory. That's what John Benernigel taught me, and Jeff Meldrum and Les Stroud and other PhDs I've worked with, is what happened to lead up to this. Because this Sasquatch, this is something that Todd Standing will tell you, is this Sasquatch is showing himself to a person. Extremely likely that's happening. He knows as a person. Well, and what was this filmed with? His phone? How close was he? That's crazy. And what's the Sasquatch doing? Why is he like this? And has this guy built some kind of relationship with this individual? There's 1,000 questions I would have for this person. And if the person who filmed this footage would like to come and talk to me, I would love to interview you. I'll say this to the person who filmed this: if you're authentic, I'll help prove you. And if you're a liar, stay away from me, because I'll help disprove you. So, and if this is authentic, my goodness, please come forward. You have nothing to hide from the truth. And I know there's, John Bitternickel talked about this, the ridicule, the mocking of society. Hell with that. Stay anonymous. I'll come forward and I'll interview you, and you can stay completely anonymous and tell me all about how it happened. And another thing too is, man, if you're getting this kind of footage and you, because you have a good relationship with a Sasquatch, you could legitimately be immensely important in the discovery of this species. In my perspective, this Sasquatch is showing himself to somebody he trusts. This is what a Sasquatch did to Jeff Meldrum. Walked like that because he spent days trusting Meldrum and over a year learning to trust me. And we were interacting with them, and there's so many levels of what was going on. He took apples. He was grateful for the gifts. He saw the kind of people that we were, following us for days and days. So if someone's built that kind of relationship where a Sasquatch is showing himself to you like this, please help us with this discovery. My movie's called Discovering Bigfoot, and the discovery is immensely important to me. We need this discovery to move forward, and this is very, very impressive stuff. This looks like there's some digital push happening here. Again, they keep going over this shot over and over, which is very impressive, but not as good as the Patterson footage, is it? Truly not. So there's a lot of definitions. Not like I can't see things like well, there's a lot of contrast because it's sunlight and shadow, right? The Patterson footage doesn't have that, and yeah, just a lot missing. This terrain looks like nice wilderness, potentially. So even having a look around at the terrain, man, there's some real bleached out stuff, right? I wonder if this was, some work was done in post-production, because that doesn't look like natural photography. It doesn't look like a camera would film that naturally. In my opinion as a videographer, this looks like some post was done, in that the contrast was bumped up, brightness has been bumped up. So we need to talk to people and discuss, you know, what changes have been made and what's happening on the backside. Now, hopefully they'll get over this section here. Look at the thickness in his quads, right? The thickness in his back, the shape of his lower back that bends, the leaning forward head, the leaning forward chest, the gait. So the belly looks great. It's not usually a distended abdomen like a gorilla. So now here's the end piece. This is where you got to get a little frustrated, right? What happened to in between? So, but what I'm seeing right now, again, is an authentic looking, hunched forward walking Sasquatch. Very, very, and why aren't we seeing a video here? Why is it a photo in a photo? Why can't we watch that walk? Or are we going to get to watch that walk? I'm still seeing bleached outedness. Maybe if I was to say there's a chink in this, it's where the head comes to the back. I keep seeing a line there. Is it a shadow? So the leg movement is really, really good. I mean, this individual looks like they practice walking Patterson, like he's still maintaining that foot straight up and down, as you can see in this shot, straight up and down, which is exactly how a Sasquatch looks. The glutes look appropriate. The width of the back looks appropriate. Still seeing that line. See where the bottom of the neck meets the back. But that could be shadowing, so not 100% on that. And there's no athletic event transpiring here. Really great still shot of it. Video still here. Thickness, bending, like the calves and the quads all look like legit real muscles, like from a really, really thick Sasquatch. So the back has nice shape. The hair on the back looks a little bit off, but that could be just the video there. But with that light on, the length of the hair, the way the hand and the hair match up, even everything, guys, like the way the hair is, it looks decently authentic. Still seeing a bit of a space between the lower neck and the back, which is if it was a costume. So even look at there. See, there looks like there's a bump, an odd shaped bump where the neck meets the head. So there's the chink. And that can be, man, looking at that shot especially, the ear looks legit and good, but that bump there is. And now here, look at, you see like the nice shape of the body. All these shapes match what I know and what I've seen. So the head looks really on par. And just this individual is again not huge, for sure not huge, but definitely thick. So, and I don't know if you've seen bodybuilders, they can get enormous. There are people that are absolutely enormous, human beings. So the way the glutes look there, the way the hair comes around the glutes, I've seen that. That looks pretty spot on to me. So, and look at that. That's profound. Like, a human can walk like that, but a Sasquatch does walk like that. It's just simply impressive. So I want to show you section my video 2 and my video 3, the way this Idaho Bigfoot should be shown. It's literally right from the very beginning when I push record right till the very end. So here goes video 3, which is we've proven is a Sasquatch that's at least 9 feet tall, probably a little taller than that, or something running bipedally. A skeptic can say something running bipedally, approximately 9 feet tall. No human being has ever been 9 feet tall. It's very, very thick, very muscular. He's running up an extremely slim slope, and he does the whole run in approximately 17 seconds. A human being, the fastest man in the world, couldn't have done it in 24. So somehow I found a man who is 9 feet tall, or I put a man in stilts, and he ran through dense bush faster than the fastest man. I don't think so. So let's watch video 3 right here in its entirety.
See him above there, by the trees.
And now I'm going to play for you video 2 in its entirety. All that happened in video 2 is a female Sasquatch was coming across. This male stood up and sat down. That's it. People complained, can we see more footage? You want to see more dirt and earth? Literally, I picked the camera up, saw him. The Sasquatch stood up, sat down. I pulled my camera away. I didn't stop recording. I pulled my camera away and ran up the hill, and he was gone by the time I got there. So literally all you're going to see is that moment the Sasquatch stands up, sits down, I pull away, and I run up that hill. There's another reason, too, I stopped it there, is, well, at the time I didn't want people to know the spot, and there was some landmarks that could have potentially given away the area. Now I wouldn't give a crap, because that is like hell. At the time I thought, well, people could find this, and now I realized nobody goes remote like that. Nobody goes backcountry like that. So that was in the hella middle of nowhere. So in hindsight, I would show that landmark and not really care. And then if people did discover it, whatever, you're going to see how big the Sasquatch is. That Sasquatch was also 9+ feet tall. Like, he was absolutely enormous. But the point is, that's the footage. It's in entirety. Now, they talked about, the NVTV guys talked about how, why would you do it and all that kind of stuff. And they're totally right, and I completely agree. But I want to show you another piece of footage called, way back, oh gosh, 20 years ago, called the Snowwalker footage. And I learned a lot from this. I know this footage is fake. I met the guys who started a TV show who, well, at least they claimed that it was fake. And over the years, I've looked at it more, and I've realized let's go into it. So it starts out pretty blurry. I apologize for that. What doesn't make any sense to me is that it's a Sasquatch struggling in the snow while someone's filming him. So this footage doesn't look good at all. But and this was filmed way like, gosh, got to be 20 years ago, and it was filmed in 1080p. What I found out was this was being done for a TV show. They were going to do a hoax and then attach it to this TV show for various reasons. And obviously, they just didn't want to do that. The news picked it up. They thought it was legit and real. So I apologize for this piece of footage here. This is really, really blurry, crappy stuff. But it will get clear in a second. My point of showing this is this is an excellent suit. The shots that I saw of this that'll come up in a minute are absolutely amazing. So that's like, again, the shape is amazing. He's got a cone head, as we'll see a little later, that his body looks great. The fur looks great. This looks, I mean, this is some pro effects guys that did this, and it's still going around. People are still saying this footage is potentially real when I've seen the evidence to say it's absolutely not. First of all, based on, I don't know what the heck a full-grown Sasquatch would be doing wallowing around in the snow like he's stuck. It looks, what it is it's a human being in a suit, an excellent built suit, based on the Patterson footage, which is the best of all time. And he really is stuck in the snow because he can't move around because he's a human being with a heavy costume on. So that's the reality of it. Here's the other shot of it. Again, so not great clarity, but take my word for it, the footage I saw was much clearer. So look, this is clearly a very good costume. Excellent fur. I would, moving in deep snow, but that's a man moving around in deep snow. Stuck in deep snow, struggling. He's got the pointed head. He's got great glutes, great shape in the body, great shape in the legs. So, and the quality of the fur is really good. And remember, this was thinking that, knowing this was shot 20 years ago, and and what's he doing? Like laying around, wallowing in the snow. Sasquatch don't elicit that behavior. That was preposterous to me. Even to this day, Sasquatch just don't do that. It's moving like a man. It shows traits of a man struggling in the snow, but I would argue that this suit is as good as the Idaho one, and again, there was a big break in there, right? Because they got one shot and they got the actor to move over to another shot, and in between it looked really fake. So they were just doing everything they could to make it look as real as possible. But I'm showing this, and this is called snow walker footage. It's really hard to find online. And this is really poor quality. It's been duplicated so many times over and over, but just as good as the Idaho footage, I would argue. So those are the points I wanted to make with this Idaho footage. I would like to stress the number one thing is, I am Todd Standing. I am connected to Jeff Meldrum. I am connected to Survivorman. I am connected to some higher ups. To the people who filmed this footage, please come forward. Please give us more information. I'd like to hear the backstory. I'd like to see all the footage. And this footage is so good, I'll make a call to Survivorman. If you want Survivorman to interview you, if you'd like Survivorman to review the footage, if you would like Jeff Meldrum to interview the footage, I know these are colleagues of mine I have immediate connections to. So this is my call out to you. If it's authentic, this is important. Many, 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 many people live and fight for this discovery. It's a very, very important discovery, the discovery of Sasquatch. If this footage is indeed authentic, please come forward. My email, my website is discoveringbigfoot.org. So get over to the website. I'm Todd Standing on Facebook. I'm Todd Standing on Instagram. There's lots of ways to find me. Even get a hold of these guys from NVTV, and they can get a hold of me. I'm cooperating with everybody. This is not about fame and fortune and anything. If you legitimately filmed a Sasquatch, this is very important footage. And my biggest question is, are you so amazing that you could do this again? Do you have such an excellent relationship with this Sasquatch or this troop of Sasquatch that you can do this again? I would love to help you. I would come out to the area and review this. This is important footage. This is some of the best footage I've seen in years. If it's fake, just disappear into your little hole, have fun, do your little hee. Congratulations. There are us people like me out there that devote their lives to this, and this is very important to us. So don't dick around anymore. Congratulations, you had your fun if you're hoaxing, and if you're not, please find a way to get a hold. I think I'm the best connection for you. So find me, reach out to me. I will give you what you want. I have big name, enormous, amazing people. You pick your person, and I can get you in contact with them, and this can really help the discovery process move forward. Congratulations, there's something awesome and special about you if this is legitimate footage. Congratulations to you if you were trying to hoax us. You got important people talking about it, and it is what it is, right? So thanks for tuning into my Sasquatch Sunday video. There'll be awesome stuff on Wednesday we'll talk about. I'd like to hear some fallout and your opinions for this on the live show on Wednesday, plus more stuff, new announcements, amazing things going on. And Throwback Thursday is going to be awesome. Don't miss it. I hope you watched the red Bigfoot from the previous video. That's a real photograph of a Sasquatch. I'm quite convinced of. So lots of stuff going on. Stay tuned. The discovery is moving forward. We're an immense, important part of it. And thank you so much for your support. Take care.